I think the version of the Arthurian lore that we all are accustomed to is the ones we've seen in movies, the one we've read through La Morte d'Arthur, the most famous of the works that basically depicted Arthur, Galahad, and all the knights of the Round Table. What we did is that we went back a little bit further and went to the source of all of those legends, and the source came from a Welsh tale, from Welsh legends, and spin it the way we wanted to. All of that was a way to instill not only the names but a little bit of the legend of Arthur into our characters. This Order of Knights was a direct result of this war that was going on. It wasn't the lore as you know it. The half-breeds are really a subspecies of what humanity becomes after a few centuries of evolving in a different direction. And there we find this struggle going on for supremacy, for survival, and it's only after the Industrial Revolution, after the change in the way they built weapons and all that, that finally humanity takes over and they finally have the upper hand in this war and push back against the half-breeds. The IP really existed as a world, as a big, big story and a big arc. When we brought it to life through this game, we wanted to find out a good place to actually set this game, find a setting not only in history, but also a setting geographically in the world. London was the perfect place. London was this mix of everything that was happening post-Industrial Revolution. We wanted to depict London the way people knew London. But at the same time, when you look at that skyline, give it a twist by having those watchtowers up in the skyline or having airships in the sky. At the same time as people would believe a London, they would also question it by seeing that imagery. When approaching the PS4, we have to try and maximize everything we can out of it. But also we're trying to maximize it without taking the player experience away from the player. Ultimately, you could do a lot of different things with a lot of the hardware that's there, design-wise, input-wise. But for us, it was always important that the player didn't feel detached every time they did something like that. What feels natural? If it takes you away from the experience, we usually shy away from it. Of course, approaching a next-gen title, everybody has the dreams of what they want to do with it. We've talked about the filmic aspect of the game. We've showed it with the trailer. That was our way of telling the world and the players, like, hey, here's our vision of next gen. Here's our vision of what the Order is going to be, and here's our vision of what PS4 is going to basically be able to do. And we can't wait for the players to play this.
PlayStation